BTC, yes, Bitcoin against the dollar. This is the asset category for all crypto, the determinant for direction and where we might be going. I will be starting with a different chart this time, something I want you to consider. It feels worryingly too much like an obvious trade to me. And usually when it feels too simple and obvious, you could sometimes be wrong. You're missing something. But I can't see a way around it. And I am short and have been short and have built short. So let's talk straight about where we are at. Your chart. What have we got on here? Shorts in the candles. That is Bitfinex exchange, their volume. And this is a proxy. So people will say, oh, but BitMEX has much bigger volume. BitMEX is a derived market based on an underlying market that is a exchange. And in fact, they use Polynex, which is smaller than Bitfinex. But anyway, so the real trading is occurring on an exchange, and they are derived markets. So that's people that don't have exchange accounts or do have exchange accounts, but want additional leverage. So they are expressing in BitMEX. But anyway, even in spite of that, Bitfinex, if it's deemed not the largest, is still a proxy for what the retail trader is doing. So this is the shorts. You could have argued that you had a cup and a small little handle there. Maybe we're going to have a deeper little handle. But basically, what can we see from here? From this relative high, this was a short squeeze, by the way, in and around the April period, and we had a pop up. That all occurred higher up in Bitcoin than where we are today. What are these other two lines? Red is the longs, and the gold line is the actual Bitcoin chart. So what I've done is I've just selected a data point entry here for where we were roughly in the 1st of May. So there you go. 1st of May, you had longs at this level. Now look at these numbers over here. For the main candlestick, these are your numbers. For the longs here, so the main candlesticks is the shorts. That's your longs on Bitfinex, BTC, USD, and that is the actual Bitcoin performance, the price. So what did we have? 1st of May, you had the longs sitting at 24,677. Where are they today? 31,056, or is it 32,941? Sorry, 32,941. Looking on this number as we point at the current data. Where were the shorts at this point, 1st of May? The shorts were, look at the top number here, this one over there. Let's put it back on that line there. The shorts were 21,000. They're only marginally higher, and they're on the way down. Having dipped and gone higher, they're actually on the way down. First sign that we're not, but this was quite exhaustive sell-off here on the way down. So that point is 23,000. At the same time, the longs are almost 10,000 higher. And throughout this period, the longs are broadly built. In fact, the last few days from the lows here on the 17th to today, which is the 28th, the longs have been climbing quite quickly. How's Bitcoin been doing from that period or from this period? Bitcoin was 9,000. This is the number you want to be watching now, the yellow number on the gold. Bitcoin was 9,000. These leverage channel longs, how have they done with their leverage longs? They are eating it down to 6,000. You're talking about 33.33% loss. $3,000 on 9,000. They've lost a third, but the longs have grown. Yes, it wasn't a straight up line. You had a pump, then you went sideways a little bit, marginally high, then a dip and back long again. But they are a loser generally. In other words, they're buying the dip. And I'm sensing that the 6,000 level, without getting into mining profitability and other things that are outside of my expertise, there seems to be a Dunkirk line at the 6 grand. And it seems like the longs believe that they've got a back door that can't be overrun, and that this is like the cheap entry. I remember that. In the Euro Swiss franc 3 times, in fact, at 1.5, at the peg level of 1.2, and subsequently. Those fell both times because people thought there was a back behind their wall and it was a cheap entry with very limited downside and only upside to gain. And I wonder if this is what's happening today, because these buy the dip buyers have not fared well. They have not fared well. So what Bitcoin actually doing? When I look at this, out of the way there, you man in the pink shirt. When I look at this, down, down, down you go, this grind line was broken capitulatively. This is exceedingly low volatility. What follows low volatility? An impulsive move. Could it be a pump up? It could. Do I think it is going to be? On balance of probabilities, my bias is to the downside. My bias is to the downside. Yes, and it has been for most of this period, for most of this time. Most of your technical analysis commentators that follow are not warning you about low volatility environments begetting future highly impulsive move. So there could be a capitulation here. Eventually, the people in disbelief, seeing that the price can actually drop below 6,000 because they understood that this was, the minimum level to keep miners in business, et cetera, and suddenly they find the market price trading below this. Let me say that those people, they should understand that the possibility does exist and could even be quite high probability with a capitulation sell-off in this low volatility environment. A big move is due. So that is my take. BTC to potentially capitulate further. However, it doesn't always mean it has to be down. I could be wrong, and if I'm inaccurate, I'll be 180 degrees inaccurate, and everybody who wants to be a hero will come on and say, yeah, you were wrong. And it's not really about being right. It's about being making money. And I will close quickly. If I see anything that is highly impulsive to the long side that shows real staying power and strength, I won't hold any short and medium term short positions if that occurs. We've been modeling for a rising wedge. It was grinding along here. Doesn't look like it could hold. Had a little break, rolled over, a little bit of a spill down here, getting dangerously close to this line that was rejected at this juncture here. I do feel, and as I've said before, and I've shared these charts on a number of occasions, that there's downside potential. What have I got here? This is the longs. This is a chart of the Bitfinex leveraged longs. And what has it given me? It's given me an upside HVF. These guys are throwing everything at this. They're going to go for it. In fact, I've just realized that you're only going to see the browser. I've pulled up another app, so I need to show you this on the browser. Let's see it. There you go. You'll see it here. This is your Bitfinex longs. And what they're doing. And there's a possibility they may take their level up to 46,000. This is, as I say, the Dunkirk line for many. They think they're going to hold and dig in and fight to the last. And they could end up having to retreat to the other side of the channel because they have not been proven accurate so far. Remember, this is the retail trader on one particular exchange, but that exchange is a big exchange and it is a decent proxy. And I know BitMEX has huge volume. It's a derived market. It's not an exchange. It's a derived market on an underlying. And in fact, they've taken Polynex as the exchange that they're putting their market maker skills on top of. So you are trading a derivative. You aren't actually buying Bitcoin. You aren't actually selling Bitcoin. You are selling a market maker's stake with the same leverage of profit. But all those points aside, this is a very good proxy of what Mr. Retail is doing. And Mr. Retail often is the 91%, and you want to be the 9 more often than not. So I want to fade these guys. It would be great if they all jump in because these are all longs that would have to liquidate when they can't hold on and their belief system is defied by a number that is lower than they expect could ever go for reasons of mining, etc. So there's a couple of things going that could do it. What could contribute to me being inaccurate and this being an upside? Well, if we look at Ethereum, falling wedge, could pump up. Often falling wedges do pump up and not far away from an exhaustive low. By the way,